For 6 years, Kaisha Washington scanned groceries at Save Mart. Same store, same checkout lane. She saw the same families week after week. Most of them never remembered her name, but she remembered theirs, especially the Morrisons. They were the perfect family with a secret that was slowly killing their daughter. Every Sunday afternoon, like clockwork, they'd come through her lane. David and Sarah Morrison, with their 3 children. They wore designer clothes and bought organic produce. They were always polite, always smiling. The kind of family you'd see in a magazine. But Kaisha noticed something no one else did. The youngest daughter, Emma, was maybe 7 years old. Never spoke. Not a single word in 6 years. While her brothers joked around and her parents chatted about their week, Emma would stand silently at the end of the conveyor belt, staring at the floor. At first, Kaisha just thought Emma was shy. But over the months, she noticed more. Emma never made eye contact. She never smiled. She never reacted when her siblings teased her. It was like she was a ghost in her own family and nobody seemed to notice. Nobody except Kaisha. One Sunday in March, everything changed. It was a warm, sunny day, almost 80 degrees. Emma's brothers were in shorts and t-shirts. But Emma was wearing long sleeves, a turtleneck, and jeans. Completely covered from head to toe. Kaisha's heart skipped a beat. She'd grown up in a neighborhood where you learned to read the signs, to see what people were trying to hide. And this was a sign, but she pushed the thought away. Maybe Emma was just cold or had sensitive skin. This was a nice family with an expensive car and probably a big house. Abuse didn't happen in families like this. But Kaisha knew better. Her grandmother always said, "Evil doesn't have an address, baby. It lives everywhere." The next Sunday, Emma came in wearing long sleeves again. And this time she was wearing sunglasses inside the store. Kaisha's hands started shaking as she scanned the groceries. She saw Emma's mother hold her arm, just a little too tightly. Emma winced, but said nothing. When Mrs. Morrison looked away for a moment, Kaisha bent down slightly. "Hey, sweetie," she said softly. "I like your sunglasses." "Very cool." Emma didn't respond or look up. But for just a second, she tilted her head, and Kaisha saw it. A dark purple bruise along her jawline, barely visible. Kaisha's stomach dropped. She finished scanning their items in silence, her mind racing. She watched the perfect, smiling Morrison family leave, hiding a terrible secret behind their polished image. That night, Kaisha couldn't sleep. She kept seeing Emma's face, the bruise, the silence. She knew she had to report it. But what would she say? That a customer's child wore long sleeves and had a bruise? Kids fall. That's what everyone would say. What if she was wrong and destroyed this family? She could lose her job. But what if she was right? What if she said nothing? And Emma died? Kaisha had been that little girl once. Silent and afraid, hoping someone would notice. No one ever did. She couldn't let that happen to Emma. The next morning, Kaisha went to her supervisor, Tom. "There's a family, the Morrisons. I'm worried about their youngest daughter. I think something might be wrong." Tom barely looked up. "What did you see?" Kaisha explained, "A bruise on her jaw. She never talks, and she's always covered up, even when it's hot." Tom interrupted. "Kaisha, kids get bruises. Some kids are shy. You're a cashier, not a social worker. Unless you see actual abuse, we can't get involved." He continued, "If you're wrong, we're looking at a lawsuit. The Morrisons spend thousands here." "Do you understand?" Kaisha understood. Money mattered more than a child's safety. She left his office feeling sick, but she wasn't giving up. That night, Kaisha called the Child Protective Services hotline, her hands shaking. "I want to report suspected child abuse." The operator was kind but clinical. "What's your relationship to the family?" I'm their grocery store cashier." There was a pause. "Mom, we need more than observations." "Has the child disclosed abuse to you?" "No, she doesn't speak." "Have you witnessed physical violence?" "No, but the signs are all there." Without concrete evidence or imminent danger, we can't open an investigation. "If you see something more definitive, call back." The line went dead. Kaisha sat in her car and cried. She tried, and it wasn't enough, but she couldn't let it go. Kaisha started documenting everything. Every Sunday, she wrote down what Emma was wearing, any visible marks, how the family acted. She kept a notebook hidden in her locker. Then, 6 weeks after her call to CPS, something changed. Emma stopped coming to the store. The Morrison family still came, but Emma wasn't with them. "Where's Emma?" Kaisha asked one day, trying to sound casual. Mrs. Morrison smiled. Oh, she's visiting her grandmother. She'd be back soon, but Emma never came back. Not the next week or the week after. 6 Sundays passed without Emma. Kaisha knew something was terribly wrong. Kaisha called CPS again. This time her voice was forceful. I called 6 weeks ago about a child named Emma Morrison. She had visible bruises, she never spoke, and now she's been missing for 6 weeks. Her parents say she's visiting her grandmother, but I don't believe them. Something is wrong. Please, you have to check on her. Maybe it was the desperation in her voice, or the detailed timeline she'd kept. But this time, they listened. A social worker visited the Morrison home 3 days later. What they found was horrifying. Emma had been locked in her bedroom for nearly a month as a punishment that had escalated. She had no school, no sunlight, and minimal food. She was malnourished, dehydrated, and covered in bruises from being hit with a belt. She was too terrified to even cry. Emma was removed from the home immediately. Her parents were arrested, and the other children were placed with relatives. Emma was finally safe. The story made the local news. A prominent family arrested for child abuse. But nobody mentioned the grocery store cashier who had noticed. Nobody, except Emma. 2 years later, Kaisha received a letter from Emma's foster family. Inside was a note. It said, "Dear Kaisha, Emma asked us to write to you. She wanted you to know she's okay now. She's talking, smiling, and going to school. She's healing, and she wanted to say thank you. For seeing her when no one else did, for not looking away. You saved her life." Enclosed was a drawing of 2 stick figures holding hands. The tall one had a name tag that said, Kaisha. Kaisha keeps that drawing in her locker at SafeMart. She still works lane 7, still watches families come and go. But now other cashiers ask her how she knew. And Kaisha tells them, pay attention to the quiet ones. To the ones wearing long sleeves in summer. To the ones who never smile. You don't need power or a badge to protect someone. You just need to notice. And then, you need to refuse to look away. Because sometimes a job at a grocery store isn't just a job. Sometimes it's the difference between life and death. If you suspect a child is in danger, please reach out to the Child Help National Child Abuse Hotline at 1-800-4-A-CHILD. Your call can make a world of difference. Thank you for watching.